Hey guys, what is up? It's me, Vole, and welcome back to a brand new video here on the Accurate and Powerful LEGO Guns, where today we'll be showing you this mini LEGO pocket pistol. Enjoy. And here is the LEGO gun in question. And now before I go on with any of the tests, allow me to give you a brief introduction on this lovely little weapon. So this is a pocket-sized, single-shot, hammer-action LEGO pistol. And it features a load of really cool features, including a hammer-style mechanism, very similar to one which you would see off revolver, which means that the weapon could easily be made compact. However, there is one super cool feature which I need to show you. So if you notice, this gun has a cylindrical barrel, just like one which you would see on a regular real steel firearm. And because of this type of barrel, we were extremely limited on what rounds we could accept. But just like revolver, we can accept these cross-shaped LEGO Technic connecting beams. So before we do get on with the testing, I'm going to just quickly show you how to load. So what you do is, as per usual, pull the hammer, and then see the barrel, you would slip around into there like so. And once you've done that, you are well and truly ready to fire. And now I've quickly showed you how this gun works, it is now time to go on to the range test. So here we are with the range test. What we're going to do now is we're going to shoot 3 rounds down there, and afterwards we're going to go down there and see how far this gun is able to shoot. So I'm going to kick things off with test number 1. And here we are with test number 2. And our third and final test. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the range test. And what we're going to do now is we're going to see just how far this gun is able to shoot. So let's just have a quick look at the results of our range test. And first, we did have a bit of a problem shooting one of our projectiles. This only clocks in at 1 meter, but this test doesn't really count because the projectile must have had way too much friction in the barrel of the weapon and thus couldn't really shoot properly. The next projectile here clocked in at a pretty nice 3.5 meters. Pretty good for a very small LEGO pistol. But even better than that is our final test, which came in down here, 4.5 meters away from where I was taking the range test. So the gun is pretty good at shooting these projectiles, however it is not 100% consistent. Now, despite some of the inconsistencies, it's clear to see that this gun is powerful. But is that power all in vain? It will be time to find that out soon with the accuracy test. But before we do that, allow me to talk through the details of this LEGO pistol. This is a simple, pocket-sized, hammer-action LEGO pistol. The weapon itself takes these rounds and uses a revolver-style mechanism. as per usual, the pistol grip on the weapon is crafted using our regular formula for our angled grips. As per usual, you'll have 2 sets of Lego bricks attached to the 3-wide grip, which will have these 2 Lego Technic connects here, which are attached to 2 large Lego Technic bricks on the main gun body. In order to mask the mechanism here, we will use these 2 parts, which are just a collection of Lego base plates and bricks with smooth base plates on the top. And of course, masking the inner mechanism is simple. You just attach the bottom part on first and then add the top part, making sure this part is slotted in between these 2 bricks. Like so. Next, let's discuss the mechanism of the Lego gun, which can be split up into 3 different components. The first component is the hammer mechanism, or the hammer piece here, which is connected to this gear. The second component is this sear, which is connected to this trigger piece here. And the final piece, which is the thing we're going to be talking about first, is this trigger piece, which is connected to this end part, all the inner workings of what propels the trigger forward and allows the trigger to reset. So the reset mechanism is very simple. Has this rubber band which is wrapped around to the one side because of the constraint of the weapon being 3 studs wide, kept up in the right place using this 3 stud wide Lego Technic connect, and then put in this cross-shaped connect which is attached to these 2 Lego rods, which is attached to this connect at the front with these 2 cylindrical pieces here and there. The inner workings here are concealed effortlessly with these 3-wide Lego Technic base plates, and applying them on is simple as day, and it almost completely conceals the mechanism entirely from view, like so. The next component that we shall be looking at is this sear. This sear is a very simple construction again. It has this Lego Technic hook piece here attached to these 3 cylindrical pieces, all with a 5 stud wide Lego Technic cross connector. Applying it is very simple. You get the connector that is attached to the trigger, pull the trigger, and then apply this sear onto the weapon like so. And now, as you can see, this sear is fully functional. Now, the final and most important part of the mechanism, which allows the thing to shoot, is the hammer mechanism here, which is comprised of these 3 parts and, of course, a rubber band that allows the thing to move forward. So, attaching the hammer to the weapon is very simple. As you can see, the hammer will fit in at this final hole here, and what you need to do is slot this cross-shaped beam properly, corresponding to this cross-shaped here on the hammer itself, like so, keeping your finger there. So obviously you have got room to fit in your gear. Then what you want to do is pull the trigger upwards, insert the gear piece here, and then when you reset the trigger, that thing should not move any further forward until you pull. Applying the rubber band is just as easy. As you can see, we have these Lego Technic parts here, which is a knob that you can hook your rubber bands easily onto. Again, to apply the rubber bands, very simple. You hook this rubber band through this hole in the L-shaped beam, like so, and then attach one here, and attach one then, and you can pull the trigger, and as you can see, the hammer mechanism is fully functional. Of course, if you find the weapon too weak, you can always wrap it round once or twice around each of these knobs. Of course, this Lego gun features a cylindrical barrel, and the cylindrical barrel effect is immediately achieved by inserting this one stud wide Lego Technic brick here, which there are an array of these Lego Technic bricks that start off from the end of the barrel all the way to the start of it, like so. And of course, to keep these in a stable area to make sure the gun doesn't break apart too easily, we will cover these things up with these smoothen out Lego Technic base plates, like so. It's mainly for stability this time, and not like my other times where I'm doing it mainly to keep it nice and clean looking. However, it still has that presentability there in place. The centre of it is studded, allowing any user to place any attachment they wish to do. And finally, we'll show you how to load it again, only this time in a bit more detail. Now, most times you are going to be able to pull the hammer. However, just in case you've applied a new rubber band, hold onto the sear to make sure that the gun doesn't accidentally misfire. All you want to do is, holding onto the sear, you want to pull the hammer to around this position. Or if you're not holding onto the sear, 3 clicks. Then what you want to do is, in the cylindrical barrel, you want to insert any cross-shaped Lego Technic beam or connect into the barrel, like so. Be warned, because the barrel is cylindrical, this is the only type of ammo that the weapon will accept. Then, once you are ready, you can take aim and fire, like so, while pulling on the trigger. All these features sound good, but just one question. Is this gun just a worthless novelty, or is it the ultimate package of pocket pistol that can easily compete against some of my bigger pieces of weaponry? It's time to find out now with the accuracy test. We've figured out this is a small yet epic weapon, but can it hit those 3 targets? It's now time to find out. Alright then, here we are with test number 1. Pass. Now here we are with test number 2. Pass. And here we are with the 3rd and final test. Pass. All 3 pass. From the accuracy test, it is clear to see that this gun, despite it being super tiny, is an amazing little thing. However, is this gun really capable of delivering a precise shitstorm? Well, it will be time to find that out soon with the precision test. But before we do that, allow me to go quickly through my own personal opinion of this Lego gun. So starting off with, I know this is the specification of all the Lego guns I put in this series, but this gun is more specifically very accurate. I would say pinpoint. And the reason for this is because of the cylindrical barrel. So obviously it depends on how well it flies out of this barrel, but if it flies out properly, it should be able to hit the target every time. And I think this is a very good feature because it doesn't really give the projectile any opportunity to wobble around in there. It's very much secure in there, and there's only one way it can go, that way. Also means no energy could be possibly wasted with it going up, down, left or right. Another really good feature about this weapon
is that despite its small size, we've still been able to fit in an angled pistol grip. Not usually something to rave about, but with the size it's usually very difficult, as angled grips, although they're really good, are very cumbersome and very bulky. And the use of the angled grip makes holding this small gun just ever so slightly more comfortable, and the grip we've used here is tons better than the one we used on our previous build. Another really good feature is just the pure simplicity of the weapon and its mechanism, which is very simple to load. The most extra thing you'll have to do is hold on the sear just to keep the hammer in place. Apart from that, it's a very simple cocking mechanism where you just pull the hammer, load the round, and pull the trigger. Zero bullshit, zero fucking around, just clear as day, pull the hammer, load the round, shoot. And I think that's really good because then it really helps with being able to quick fire, so that when you're out of ammo, when the chamber's empty and you've still got ammunition in your pocket, it's not the end of the world in the slightest. If only we can have some of our other builds that repeat doing the same kind of thing, then that will be excellent. Another really good feature is, unlike with our previous hammer action pistol, we have not had to secure the sear with a rubber band to keep it in place. Really big good, because that means it's one less rubber band to worry about. Another really good thing is, again, despite the small size, I managed to get the presentation down to a T. The little extra ridging on the smoothened out pistol grip, a little smoothing out here and a little bit of a studded area to put your attachment, and the little sloped up pieces here just makes the gun look genuinely neat and well presented. Also, the fact that I managed to hide some of the mechanism in here also adds to the cake. Another really good thing is it really does fit the specification of being a pocket pistol. Not only can it fit in your coat pocket or your suit jacket pocket, it can also fit in your trouser pocket very easily, like so. And it is relatively comfortable, but getting it out is not the easiest thing in the world, so I would recommend putting it in a slightly different pocket, coat or jacket, just to make getting it out an easier deal. And the final good thing about this is, not only is the weapon really sturdy for its size, which is excellent and something you really need, the rubber bands are also durable and it takes a long time for them to run away. And for the trigger rubber band, it doesn't matter if that's worn out, which it is, it still works like a dream. Now I've gone for the good, it's now time to go for the bad. So the first thing that's really bad that can happen is when you fire the weapon in the cylindrical barrel, it's good but it's not perfect, and what will sometimes happen is you'll get into this inconsistency with the projectiles. Sometimes the projectiles will just slide out when you put it down, which is something you really don't want, and then again sometimes the projectiles, when you pull the trigger, will stay stuck in the barrel, which again is something you don't want, because then you'll have to get another round or a ramming rod to fish the thing out. Another really bad thing is, despite its sturdiness for a small weapon, it does start to break apart really easily. That's to be expected because it's a very small, tiny pistol, so you will find yourself having to clamp it down like this so many times. However, you really should expect it for a small pistol like this. Another really bad thing is if you try and load by pulling the hammer at the same time as pulling on the pistol grip, you'll actually start to break the pistol grip up like that. To get over this, I recommend you hold the gun like this, then you pull the hammer and press on the sear if needed. Then once you've done that, you can use the gun as you would usually expect, and whilst you're doing the rest of the loading, still use the pistol grip. So there's not too much of an inconvenience. And the final thing is there's not really a sight on there. I know it's not really going to count too much, and it's still really super easy to aim with this weapon. My ultimate tip is actually to use the barrel to pinpoint exactly where you're going to hit. But some people will prefer an iron sight on this, and It's a little bit of a sad deal that I haven't put it on, but seeing the type of weapon it is, I don't think I'm missing out on much. Now that I've gone through my personal opinion, I can come to the conclusion that this gun is really good. It has a few drawbacks, but on the most part, it's a fantastic, awesome little weapon that can easily compete with some of my bigger pieces. And with that done and dusted, it's now time to go on to the precision test.
Is this gun a true masterpiece, or did I just get lucky in the accuracy test? It's now time to find out. So it's the same drill as always, gun in a fixed position, target in the centre of the final board, like so, 3 times. Test number 1. Pass. Test number 2. Pass. Third and final test. Pass. All 3 pass.
Now from the precision test, it is clear to see that this gun is super well done and it will be able to hit any target you latch it onto. Unless the round does something stupid like misfire and stay stuck in the barrel, you shouldn't get too many problems with trying to aim this thing.
Thank you so much for watching the video, guys, and if you like the video, give it a like, and if you want to see more, click subscribe, and of course next time we'll be showing you this mini Lego crossbow. Another mini contraption which has a strange obsession with packing a punch. Thank you for watching, and of course, keep on building. Try and show you something. We all know domino effect. Not about doing much, but I'm sure you'll find it pretty cool.